If you like to talk about combat sports and you want to join the discussion, click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it and join Knucklehead Nation. Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, we're here at the Jackrabbit Boxing Gym and just happened upon one of the most prolific combat sports coaches in the world, Edmond Tarverdyan. Edmond, how are you? How are you doing today, sir?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Awesome, man. Awesome. It's good seeing you here. Obviously, a lot of boxing happening right now. Big boxing gym. What are you working on right now?
I got a fighter that fights on Showbox on January 31st in Louisiana. So, he's preparing. He's a fighter that has youth world title in WBO, but he's going to be doing an 8-rounder. So, he's preparing. His name is Jora Hamazarian. So, he's a good boxer from the Armenian national team. So, I've been working with him for a few months, and he's well prepared for that fight.
Very cool. You said he's from the Armenian national team? Very interesting. And what's his record right now?
He's 9-1, but actually the one fight he lost on Showbox, they say it's the biggest robbery in 40 years, so he believes he didn't lose, and then they gave a rematch on that fight with the same opponent and he got a draw. So, Steve Farrett and all those guys commentating the fight said we've never seen anything. It was totally, crazy to rob a fight like this and take it away from the kid. And in 40 years, they haven't seen anything like that. So the fight is actually on online on YouTube, and everybody else can watch it. It's a one-sided fight. I don't know how they make that decision happen, but so he believes he has no loss also, and that's why they have him back on Showbox. He's only 9 fights, 9 wins. He's been on Showbox already 3 times, 3 appearances.
Very cool. So a lot of people know you from the MMA world, obviously. You're a big name there, but you're also training boxers. Is that something you've been doing for a long time?
Long time, yeah. I've been doing both. I've trained boxers, Vanes Marozyan, Viktor Chinyan, famous Armenian fighters. But yeah, I love the sport, any stand-up fighting, So my MMA career, I hire a lot of wrestling and jiu-jitsu coaches, so they help me all the ground stuff and takedowns and stuff. So my specialty is stand-up fighting, so that's why I do both.
I see it. Obviously, some very solid Armenian fighters coming up. Sort of been a history of Armenian fighters coming through. What do you think has attracted so many Armenians to combat sports?
Well, in our country, it's either soccer or boxing or wrestling. We've got good wrestlers, so I think now it's growing, and there's a lot of them outside. After the Olympic Games, in Sydney, Viktor Chinyan made a big name. Came out there and became one of the best bantamweights in boxing history. And I think, as it goes, it's getting better. We got great MMA fighters like Gegard Mousasi. Of course, the best kickboxer in the world, I think, is Georgi Petrosyan from Italy. So we've had tremendous fighters, and I think now it's growing because we got way bigger names. Glory champion, Armenian boy, Marat Grigorian, and we have so many. And now the young kid I train, Edmond Shabazian, in the UFC, top 10 in the world. And in 1 year he broke into the top 10, 11-0 with 10 knockouts in the first round. So we're getting up there, and I think like somebody like Edmond, I'd maybe have him box in the future because he's been a national boxing champion as well as an amateur. So I wanted to have him do boxing, but he said, Coach, I came to the gym to become a professional MMA fighter, and that was my dream. So I didn't say anything because we want the kid, of course, to do what he wants to do and make his dreams come true as becoming a UFC champion, the youngest champion, and we're on our way doing that.
He's such a fantastic talent, He has a brother as well, though, doesn't he?
Yes, Leon is a good fighter also, young, and, both of them have been in my gym since 10 years old, so both good fighters. But what Edmond's doing, what being the younger brother, I think it's a great thing for the whole gym, and his brother also is a big motivation for everybody we have here.
I imagine you believe Edmond's going to be champion at some point soon.
Yeah, I have no doubt. He just turned 22 in November last year, so he's been 22 for only 2 months, 22 for 2 months. And he spars with the best. He sparred with Gegard Mousasi in our gym, He's looking great. I mean, he's worked with the best in the world in the middleweight division, in the gym, and he has a lot of fight experience. He's a young kid, grappling experience, made it to state in wrestling, a lot of nationals boxing, and a lot of kickboxing tournaments when he was growing up. So he has the whole package, and we know he has heart. He's calm and calculated. Last fight he showed that with a veteran like Brad Tavares. So I'm not going to be surprised when he's a champion. I believe in my fighter, and I know he's going to do it.
I mean, I know styles make fights, but he did to Brad Tavares what other guys like Israel Adesanya weren't even able to do to Brad Tavares. I mean, how does that make you feel as a coach?
It makes me feel great. We had a great game plan going up against Tavares, and like the kid said, he's so humble and such a great kid. He said, with the right shot, anybody could get dropped and get knocked out. And I caught him with the right shot, and Israel did a lot of great things in that fight too. That we watched a lot of footage, and yes, it was a 5-round fight, and Israel, like he said, he played with him a little bit. But I always like fighters that finish fights, and they're more exciting. So and Edmund's punching power and his finish rate, you can't compare it to Israel. Israel likes to be playful a little bit in there, takes his time and picks his shots, and I don't think he's such a big puncher, but Edmund on the other side, on the other hand, he's a tremendous big puncher and a huge finisher.
Well, we definitely look forward to seeing more from him. Is there anyone else you think we should look out for coming out of Glendale?
We got Melsik Bagdasaryan. He's a WKL kickboxing world champion, in his 7th pro fight. 7-0, I got him the world title in kickboxing, and now the transition to MMA, and he's actually first fight like 4 or 5 years ago he lost, and he was like, I don't want to do MMA. He got caught in an armbar, and I was like, hey, you got to learn. That's why you got to respect, all the grapplers and wrestlers wrestle. So he started wrestling. Now he's looking great, and he's had fights, 4 7-second knockouts, all that stuff. So he's like 4-1 right now with 4 finishes, and he's got a fight lined up, and then hopefully after that we'll be in the UFC. And I showed some footage to Dane already about his fights. So he's good. And Alfred Khashoggian fights on the 25th Bellator against Sergio Pettis, and Alfred's a 100% knockout ratio. All his wins are decisions, and it's either do or die type of fighter. Alfred's a tremendous fighter, and he's been looking good every day, wrestling more. All his defeats I feel like were a little bit lack of wrestling, and now he's been wrestling more, and he understands it, that he's older, more mature, and really wants to do it. So he's got a great fight lined up at the Forum on the 25th on the Bellator card, on the Bellator debut.
Alfred, so I needed to ask you this because I know of Alfred, and I saw him beat a very tough guy. I think it was in a first-round knockout in his last fight. Was it against A.J. Bryant?
Yes.
I mean, AJ's a very tough guy. For Alfred to finish him like that, speaks to Alfred's power. I mean, what kind of power does Alfred have in his hands?
Alfred's been in my gym for like 8-9 years old. He came and I moved around with him, and he was fighting at 135. And honestly, he caught me with a few shots that I was like, holy shit, this kid can punch, just naturally. He's so heavy-handed, and he's been a gymnast all his life, so that gymnastic strength, all the acrobatic moves he does, his upper body strength is just you can't compare. Like, he spars with a lot of the good fighters, boxers I have in the gym. When he catches them with shots, like the boxers are like, holy shit, this guy punches. His punching power is a bit different than boxers punch. So Alfred can punch, man. Alfred could put anybody out. That's why it's exciting, and I'm excited and I'm looking forward to his fight against Sergio Pettis.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Edmund. What's the chance we get someone from Glendale Fight Club on a fighter's rep card in the future, one of our Pro-Am kickboxing cards, brother?
We got so many great young talents right now. I have like maybe 5-6 kids that I've been always talking about Edmund Shahbazyan for a long time with a lot of people, and and I've been showing, if you go on my IG 2013, I'm like, this kid's the next champ. Now he's showing what he could do. Now I have another like 5-6 kids in my gym that, good handful that could fight, man, and I would love to, put them on a promotion like that to grow them and, to get a bigger future for them.
Awesome. Edmund, thank you so much for your time, brother. Much appreciated.